Hello and welcome along to the channel. Now this time we're working on a car we don't often do a lot of work on. It's the Volvo XC60 because a while back it's needed new front brakes doing, and you know something, I've left it and put it off and I think we need to go and take a look and see what we've got going on there, because I've noticed a little bit of brake squeal. So could it just be that we need new brake pads? Let's get the front wheels off, have a little look at our Volvo XC60. Got the wheel off, axle stand and jack in place, we're all nice and secure. Taking a look behind here, new spring, that's fairly new, couple of years maybe. Everything else looks pretty solid, you know, anti-roll bar joints, the little rubber boot looks alright on that, no rattles or movement. It's just worthwhile having a little look. The levelling headlights, that's the little linkage for that. That looks intact. Obviously that's quite delicate, so you do have to be careful with that. Drive shaft, all okay. And now let's have a look at the brake pads. And yeah, you can see there's not a lot left on those. So just whilst I do this, no, you don't need to wind back, that's only on the rears. So what I do want to do though is push the pads a little bit to try to release them from the cylinder a bit. Makes it a little bit easier later on. Yeah, I can feel that moving. So all I've done is put the screwdriver between the brake pad and the actual caliper to get a bit of leverage, and then I'm pushing it back into the cylinder. Yes, we've now got a bit of a gap between the brake pad and the brake disc, which means when we come to put the new pads in, which are obviously going to be thicker, there's going to be more of a gap between them and they should slot back in without too much wrestling. By the way, the bit that a lot of people don't show you is these clips. You see there's a little hook on the front. I'll take you right in for a close look. The little hook on the front. What I tend to do is get a reasonably large pair of pliers like these, mole grips I think you call these, and you can see what you're doing is you're working against the pressure at the top. Now the other way of doing it is to twist the top and pull it across, but I find that puts a bit too much stress on these. If you can do it this way, what I'll do is I'll do the bottom one to try and show you. Oh, that came off in a rush, but you can see the principle behind it, and you can see what you're doing is working against this. There we go, that's the first clip off. And now what we'll do is we'll get to the back and we'll release the caliper. I know I've done this a few times on other videos, but if you're doing this as a new novice or you're not quite sure, first thing to do is you see this, you remove the plastic cap. Now it's good that these are in place, keeps all the dirt and grime out of our little fitting. So if I take that out, and now hopefully if I bring the camera around, you can see that what we've got is I think it's either an Allen or a hex. So I'm going to get in, have a look and find out what I need to do to undo them. Hopefully they're not going to be too tight. Now it actually took me a bit of finding the right size. You can see I do actually have the right size socket for it now. And this socket, well, it's not a socket, it's like an Allen key fitting. You can see here, and it is 9mm. It's 9mm, but you need to make sure it's quite thin. So a regular Allen key would do quite well for this. But you can see it fits, and then it fits in all the way, and that means I can get a bit of leverage and get that out. Okay, got my converter socket on now. I should be able to get this in here. Spin it around till it fits right in. Let's see how tough this is. Okay, let's take a bit more force. There we go. So you see it's not excessive, but it's on tight, which is good, which is about what I'd expect. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one out all of the way, because I want to pivot the whole caliper upwards to let me get at the discs, the pads, sorry. If you were doing the discs, you would have to take both of these out, but as we're just doing the pads in this case, we can take the bottom one out, loosen the top one, and I'll show you the trick. I've loosened the top. The bottom, you can see, is free, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the screwdriver to push the slider pin bolt out so that it is clear. There we go, of the caliper. Hopefully you can see that. That's now free. I should be able to now lift the caliper up and off. It doesn't want to move though. It's probably stuck, getting stuck on one of the pads, so I'm going to use the screwdriver just to prise it that little bit more. Make sure the pads are free of the caliper. Because I can see the pads are actually sticking to the caliper. You know what? All I'm going to do, I'm going to undo the other bolt and just take the caliper off. Because I think it's just going to be easier to do it like this. Not all of them will let you slide them off, actually. There we go. There's the brake caliper released. And now you'll see why I need to replace them. That is not just a low brake pad. That has got nothing left. That's very bad. And yeah, that's why you go for MOTs. And when they give you an advisory on brakes, you should change them. I didn't, and that's bad on my part, but let's get them changed. These brake pads are a bit jammed. There we go. There's one. See, that's the outer. And the inner. Now these are normally clipped onto the cylinder like so. And you're best off prising them like this rather than pulling on the cylinder, because we want to be cautious. We want to look after the rubber boots, that's very important, and also the cylinders themselves. Now actually, if I take the pad out, they look in really good condition, so I'm quite pleased with those. I'm going to get the new pads. And the reverse of fitting is fairly straightforward. Here's the new one. You can see, just push it back in, clip it into the pistons. Obviously with them being new, quite tight, but they should just go in. There's one that's gone. There we go. That's the second one in. And now I'm going to get it roughly back in place, and then I can get the other brake pad lined up. Now this bit's a bit controversial because copper grease, some people say yes, some people say no. I've always put a little bit of copper grease on the ears and the points that touch, because it makes a lot of sense to me to have those, because you want the whole thing to slide properly so that it's equal braking force across the disc. I'm using Febi parts here. Febi good quality and should last me a while. So you can see I have got a bit of copper grease on there. I'm going to clean it up afterwards because you do not want any of the copper grease getting onto your braking points, obviously. But now that's in place, I can rotate this huge big caliper back into place. And now what I'm finding is, as suspected, because the pads were that worn, I've got a long way to push the cylinder back, so I'm going to need to do that first before I can get anywhere near. And what trick I'm going to use is I'm going to take this pad off, which is going to allow me to get the whole caliper in place. I'm going to do the bolts up, and then I'm going to again use my screwdriver to prise, which will push the cylinder back in further and give me a gap. So if you do get stuck like that, where you're putting the brake pads back in and you just can't fit the caliper, that's the best way of doing it. Take the outer brake pad off, which gives you more space, lets you fit it back on, do the bolts up lightly so it's holding the caliper in, and then you can use more pushback force to slowly push the caliper back. I just wanted to also show you another technique, which is using a block of wood which you can then press against. It's also good because it then doesn't cause any pry marks or damage against your brake pads. Oh, and by the way, the other thing that makes it much easier is to release the pressure from the brake system, which on the XC60, underneath this little panel here, this is your brake reservoir, and all you do is loosen the cap like that so that it's on but loose, and that allows the system to push back easier as well. All of these things do help, especially when you've had to change the pads to such a different thickness like this. So I'm going to continue, push it back even further, and hopefully that'll then fit back on. I've just done the slider pins back up again, just hand tight, a little bit more than hand tight I guess, and I've just put the dust covers back on. So they're on, it's back in place, you can see it looks much better. The last thing to do is just to put our outer clip on. Now this can be a bit of a pain to do because again you are working against the compression of it. So like before, I'm going to use these pliers and a screwdriver and kind of prise them in place. Let's see how this goes. I'll do one side like that. The other side, you can see, there's just a little bit of pushing and pulling. Actually, maybe the screwdriver works a bit better in this case, just to push it in. Oh, I almost had it. Push it on, slide it into place. One last thing before I put the wheel back on. Now it's an auto, so it's in park, so I'm not going to get much movement, but you can see the disc is actually moving. It's not stuck on the pad, which is important. If the disc didn't move, the pads are clamping too much, and it may cause some squeal and overheating initially, but that doesn't look too bad at all actually, so I'm quite pleased with that. Okay, get the wheel on and do the other side. It's the driver's side all done up. Taking a look at the passenger side, same thing again. We look at things like the steering boot, that looks okay. You can see the rubber bush is okay there as well. CV joint bush looks okay. Inner and outer, that looks good. Again, fairly new spring on this side. So what I'm going to do is take the clip off, take the caliper mounts off, take the caliper off, swap the pads over. This time you can watch the whole process from there. See how long it takes me, see how long you think it would take you and whether you would do anything differently. Again, these spring clips, done. There you go. So I'll tell you, or I'll put at the bottom how long that took me. Didn't take too long. That's those done up. Put the plastic covers back on again. Keep them protected. So you'll see it's a straightforward job. It doesn't take that long to do. And now an important part of the process, we need to take it for a little drive just to make sure the brakes aren't binding on, there's no squeals, creaks, anything like that. The brakes feel responsive, not spongy, everything like that. So I'm going to take it for a quick drive, then I'm going to show you how you can check to make sure that the brakes aren't binding on, getting excessively hot or anything like that, just to make sure. It's an important part of the process, so don't skimp on this. There we go, it's braking nicely. No squeals, squeaks or anything like that from the brakes. The only thing I want to do is, after a quick 5-minute drive, what I'm going to do is going to hop out very carefully, put my hand, I'm not going to touch the discs, but I can feel actually the calipers are stone cold. Let's just check the other side again. Put your hand, if you can feel any heat coming off, especially on the alloys first, and then on the caliper, stone cold, which is exactly what you want. That shows that it's not binding or there's any problems with it. And there you go. That is how to change the front pads on our Volvo XC60. Hope you've enjoyed this video, hope you found it useful. If you do, pop a like down the bottom, stay subscribed for some more videos. Got loads more coming up in the channel for the rest of this year and into next, so I'll see you next time.